In this section, we will learn about the formulas and we will also work out the dates for the year 2000 to 2003. So, are you ready for the formula? Here it is. The formula for calculation the day of the week code is date plus month code plus year code is equals to day of the week code. As I said earlier, all the formulas and pattern will result in the final number from 0 to 6. These numbers from 0 to 6 will be further converted into their respected weekday codes that we have already covered in the day code section. Now you might wonder, we haven't covered the year code yet. So I am going to teach you the 4 simple ones with which we can start out. The year code for 2000 is 0. The year code for 2001 is 1, 2002 is 2 and 2003 is 3. I'm sure these numbers shouldn't be too hard to remember, should they? We will learn about more year codes in our later tutorials, but for now we will just focus on these 4 years. In the next tutorial, we will learn how to use this formula and calculate the day of the week code in the year from the range 2000 to 2003. So guys, see you in my next class. Understand the basics. Let's figure out day 4, first May 2000. Let's figure out the day. Let's figure out first a day for 1st May 2000. In this tutorial, we will cover some simple examples. So let's try to figure out a day for 1st May 2000. Let's try to figure out a day for 1st May 2000. Let's try to figure out a day for 1st May 2000. But we know the formula for calculating the day of the week code. It's date plus month code plus year code. It's date plus month code plus year code. Right? So first we need to convert this May. So first, in our first step, we will convert. So in our first step, we will convert this month May into. So in our first step, we will convert this month May into its respected code. So do you remember the code for May? So do you remember the code for May? Remember the mnemonic. So what is the code for May? Remember the mnemonic that we use for the month May? Do you remember the mnemonic that we use for the May? It's Mayo, right? So the code for May is 0. Mayo 0. So the code for May. So code for the month May is 0. So the code for the month May. So the code for the month 0. So the code for the month May is 0. Now we know the formula for calculating the day of the week code is date plus month code plus year code. The date is as simple as it is 1. The code for 2000 we have already learned, we have already memorized in our previous lecture. And the code for month is 0. So we get the formula as 1 plus 0 plus 0, which is simply equals to 1. Now, which weekday, remember, you will get do you remember the code for month is 0 and the code for 2000 is 0. So our formula becomes 1 plus 0 plus 0, which is simply equals to 1. Now which weekday has code of 1? From the mnemonic we remember that one day is Monday. So 1st May 2000 fell in Monday. Congratulations. This is far more simpler than most people think of. And congratulations, you have just calculated your very first day of the week code. And congratulations, you have just calculated your very first day of the week code. This is far simpler than most people think about. This is really a lot simpler than many people think of. This is really a lot simpler than many people think. It is a lot simpler than many people think. This is really a lot simpler than many people think about. This is really a lot simpler. This is really a lot simpler than many people think about. Now let's try one more example. What is the day on the year 4th August 2001? We remember the formula date plus month code plus year code as the see what is the code for the month August? Just remember the mnemonics that we have already covered in the month code section. Do you remember the mnemonic for the August? Do you remember the mnemonic? Do you remember the mnemonic for the month August? Do you remember the mnemonic for the month August? August begins with A, the first letter of the English alphabet. So the code for August is 1. And we have already learned the code for 2001, which is simply 1. So our formula becomes 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is simply equals 6. And we know which day falls, and we already know that 6th day is 6th Saturday, and we already know that 6th day is a Saturday, and we already remember the mnemonic that 6th day is a Saturday. So the code, for 6 we remember the mnemonic that 6th day is Saturday. So 4th August 2001 falls in. So Saturday is the day which fell on the year 4th August 2001. So Saturday is the day on which 4th August 2001 fell. In the next tutorial, we will solve some more challenging problems. In our next tutorial, we will try to solve some more challenging problems. Simple. In our next tutorial, we will solve some more challenging yet simple problems. We'll solve some challenging yet simple, a little bit more challenging yet simple. In our next tutorial, we will solve a little more challenging yet simple problems. In the next lecture, we will solve a little more challenging. We will solve a little more challenging yet simple to solve problems. A little more challenging yet simple to solve problems. In this tutorial, we will cover some simple examples. In this tutorial, we will cover some simple examples. In this tutorial, we will cover some simple examples. Let's say we want to figure out a day for 1st May 2000. So how are we supposed to do that? We already know the formula. Date plus month code plus year code is equals to day of the week code. So in our very first step, we need to convert this month May into its respected code. So what's the code for the month May? If you remember the mnemonic for the month May, do you remember the mnemonic for this month, Mayo? Well, if you do, then you know the code for the May is 0. The code for the May is 0. So we will use our simple formula. So we will use our simple formula to calculate the day of the week code. We know that date plus month code plus year code is equals to day of the week code. The date is simply 1. The code for the month May is 0. And the code for the year 2000, we have already learned in our previous lecture that it is 0. So we get our formula as 1 plus 0 plus 0, which is simply equals to 1. And we get the day of the, and we, now we will use our simple to use formula. Now here we have used our simple basic formula for calculating the day of week code. We know that date plus month code plus year code is equals to day of the week code. The date is already given, which is 1. The code for month May is 0. Remember from the mnemonic. And the code for the year 2000 is 0, that we have already memorized in our previous lecture. So our entire problem can be sorted out. So we get our, so this problem can be simplified as 1 plus 0 plus 0, which is simply equals to 1. And we get the day of the week code. Now, which weekday has a code of 1? Now, which weekday has a code of 1? Do you remember the mnemonic? One day is Monday. Well, if you do, then you know that 1 is equals to Monday. Well, if you do, then you must remember that 1 is equals to Monday. So, 1st May 2000, so the year 1st May 2000 fell on the day of Monday. So, the year 1st May 2000 fell on Monday. So the year 1st May 2000, fell on Monday. Congratulations. So the year 1st May 2000 fell on Monday. This is a lot simpler than many people think of. It's a lot guys, it's a lot simpler than most people think of. Guys, it's a lot simpler than most people think of, isn't it? So congratulations, you have really calculated your very first day of the year. Congratulations, you have just calculated your first day of the week for the month 1st May 2000. Congratulations, you have just calculated your first day of the week for the year, for the respective. Congratulations, you have just calculated your very first day of the week for the respected year. Let's try one more example. What is the day for the year 4th August 2001? Well, we already know the formula. Date plus month code plus year code is equals to day of the week code. The date is simply 1. Do you remember the mnemonic for August? Well, August starts with A, the first letter of the English alphabet. So the code for month August is 1. And we have already memorized the code for year 2001. So our problem's formula gets, so we get the formula as 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is simply equals to 6. Now which weekday has a code of 6? Which weekday has a code of 6? From the mnemonic we remember, 6th day is Saturday. 6th day is Saturday. So 6 is equals to Saturday. So the year 4th August 2001 falls in the day of Saturday. So the year 4th August 2001 fall in the year of Saturday. So on 4th August 2001, the day we have is Saturday. If you would like to, you can verify this in your calendar. If you would like to. If you would like to, you can if you would like to, you can verify this in your calendar, in any calendar. If you would like to, you can memorize this in your calendar, mobile calendar or any random calendar. If you would like to, you can memorize this in your calendar. If you would love to, you can verify this in your calendar. In the next tutorial, we will try to solve a little more challenging yet simple to solve problem. In the next tutorial, we will solve a little bit. In the next tutorial, we will solve a little bit more challenging yet simple to solve problem. So see you in my next class.